At Manchester United, a new force is taking over the midfield. His name is Kobbie Mainoo, and in just a handful of games, he's already become this formidable presence, a player who really feels like he embodies the club's future.
And listen, this isn't just hype. The feeling is he's not just back, he is here to take over. But what makes this whole story so incredible is how close it came to never happening at all. It is absolutely wild to think that this whole comeback story was just days away from not even being a story. To really get what's happening now, we have to go back and figure out why he was almost out the door in the first place.
So it all started under the former manager, Ruben Amorim. And while pretty much everyone saw Mainoo as a bright prospect, his reality on the pitch was, well, one of intense frustration. By the time the new year rolled around, Mainoo's patience had won out. He hadn't started a single league game all season long, and it wasn't because of a lack of talent. Nope, it all boiled down to a single tactical belief held by his manager.
Yeah, you heard that right. Amorim was convinced that two of his most creative players, Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes, simply could not coexist on the same field. He saw them as rivals fighting for the same role, not as potential partners. And that one opinion was pushing one of the club's brightest prospects right out the door.
And the situation got serious fast. This wasn't just talk, you know. Top clubs like Chelsea and Napoli were making real inquiries. For a minute there, it genuinely looked like a January transfer was a done deal. I mean, the shift was just dramatic. Under Amorim, it's 0 league starts and a one-way ticket out. Then, under the new caretaker manager, Michael Carrick, he's immediately starting in the biggest games of the season, and he's seen as the core of the midfield, someone to build the team around. The turnaround was instant and it was absolute. So what was the turning point? What flipped the switch? Well, it all came down to one crucial change at the top, and the arrival of a manager who saw things completely differently. As soon as Amari was sacked, Michael Carrick was brought in as caretaker, and what was one of his very first decisions? To start Kobbie Mainoo in the massive Manchester derby against their biggest rivals. There was zero hesitation. You see, Carrick didn't just know the club. He knew Mainoo, and he knew his potential. His whole philosophy was crystal clear. When you have a homegrown talent like this, you don't just cast him aside. You build around him. You stick with them. And that was the faith Mainoo had been waiting for. So, with his manager's backing, Mainoo was thrown right into the deep end. We're talking 2 of the biggest games of the season, against Manchester City and the league leaders Arsenal. This was it. This was his chance to prove his worth. Now, the game plan against City was never to dominate possession. As you can see, City had the lion's share of the ball. The whole idea was for United to be compact, resolute, and absolutely lethal on the counterattack. And that put immense pressure on the midfield to perform. And here's the crucial part. Remember Amorim's old theory that Mainoo and Bruno couldn't play together? Well, in this high-pressure derby, the player Mainoo connected with the most was Bruno Fernandes, 8 times. That single stat didn't just prove their partnership was possible, it showed it was the key to unlocking United's entire attack. And he wasn't just some creative force going forward. Defensively, he was an absolute rock. He made more interceptions than anyone else on his team, constantly breaking up City's play and helping United restrict one of the world's best attacks to just one single shot on target. It was a complete performance. His impact across both of these massive games was just undeniable. Against City, it was all about control. You see that super high pass accuracy and the crucial defensive work. But then against Arsenal, he switched gears. He started creating chances, and he ultimately delivered the game-winning assist. He showed he could adapt and deliver exactly what the team needed to win. And on top of all the tactical intelligence and the skill, he flat out outworked everyone else on the pitch. It's that combination of elite skill and just relentless effort that really makes a player special. So, after proving everyone wrong and cementing his place in the team, what does this all mean for the future of both Kobbie Mainoo and for Manchester United? Manchester United is a club built on a history of legendary academy midfielders. I mean, you think of names like Scholes, Keane, even his current manager, Michael Carrick. That's a heavy legacy to follow. And while Mainoo still has a long way to go, he's showing all the early signs of being the next in that incredible line. He is a player reborn, going from the transfer list to the team sheet in a matter of weeks. And now he's playing with a point to prove, silencing the critics and stepping into the role that he was always meant for. So the pieces are all in place. He's been unleashed, he's proven he belongs, and he has his manager's complete and total faith. The question now isn't if he can succeed, but just how high his ceiling really is. Are we watching the birth of Manchester United's next midfield legend?